This might look like just another pocket knife, the kind your grandfather might have carried. But it's not just a knife. It's a piece of American history. And the journey from simple work knife to icon began with a problem that needed solving. Picture America, the early 20th century. With industry growing and farming growing, the working man needed a tool that could keep up. Most of the pocket knives at that time were more like this maybe, with one main blade and then a smaller, less useful blade. Based on European designs, not so practical. And people did a bit of everything. What they needed was a versatile, durable workhorse. And the answer would be this recognizable knife, the Trapper. So the Trapper pattern emerged in the early 1900s. It evolved from European patterns. So immigrants from England and Sheffield and Solingen in Germany came to the US, and cutlers in the northeast developed this pattern. So it's a simple knife built around a jackknife pattern with both blades opening from the same end. And here you have two equal sized blades, which made this a game changer. You have the slender clip point, which is great for detail work and piercing, and then you have the spey blade with a blunt end, so supposedly for castrating livestock, but also for any work where you didn't want to pierce through, so maybe skinning a rabbit, that sort of thing. Now, the name Trapper invokes mountain men, but the true home for this was homes and ranches. It was clever marketing really, and to differentiate it from the stockman. So where does Case come in? Well, you can't really tell the Trapper story without considering Case. And W.R. Case & Sons were founded in 1889. They had a reputation built on quality. It was started by four brothers that were selling knives from the back of a wagon in New York. They became masters of heat treatment, and at each step they gave the blades an X. So the double X became a symbol of superior quality. And Case & Sons started making trappers in the 1920s. Now, they sold okay, but the popularity exploded after World War II. There was demand for US-made goods, and the Trapper became a go-to choice. And Case perfected this model, which became an icon. This is the 3254. In this case, it's the 3254 CV. So let's decode this, the 3254. So the 3 is for the handle material, which in this case is smooth yellow Delrin. The 2 is for the number of blades, and the 54 is for the factory pattern, which is a full-sized Trapper. The CV is the chrome vanadium that's used for the steel. This is loved by traditionalists because it's a high carbon steel with vanadium added, which gives it a much higher rust resistance. So it ends up being tough and wear resistant, but it can be honed to a razor-like edge. It starts with a polished finish and it gradually gets a grey patina over time. So let's take a closer look. Closed, it's 4¼ inches or 105 millimeters. It weighs in at 3.8 ounces or 107 grams. And you get a full 4-finger grip on this. And my hands are sort of medium to large. They're not especially large, but you can see there's still room. You have a slightly bulbous end, so it It fits well in the hand. There aren't any hot spots either. As well as the yellow dowel ring, which is great. The yellow dowel ring is practical, it's affordable, it's easy to see if you put it down, and it's quite durable and impact resistant. As well as this, you can get some more expensive options. If you look on the Case site, there's bone and stag and some really fancy handle materials. But this is the cheaper option. And it was a particular least favourite option of my friend Randy, who's no longer with us. But he hated this yellow dowel ring. But I quite like it. I think it looks cool. So the blades. So about 3 1/4 inches. They're about the same size. Let's see if I can open them both without cutting my fingers. So you can see they're about the same size. So 3 1/4 inches or 83 millimeters. And the real magic is in the details of this knife. And this particular knife, if you look at the tang stamp, following that form of the Case XX, with 4 crosses remaining, I believe this to be 2006. And I was lucky. This was given to me by my good friend Kalen, also known as Gunslinger Cal. So a big thank you to Kalen. And I've had it a while now. The great thing about this is it's got excellent fit and finish. You can see the details here with the nickel silver bolsters, with the brass liners. If you look at it as well, each of these blades is pretty well centered, and there's a brass liner separating them. So really nice fit and finish. And I know there have been some issues with some of the modern Case knives, but this one made 20 years ago is an excellent example. But the key thing that most of us like are the walk and talk. It has a nice firm click and it closes well. The same for the spey blade. A nice solid knife, no blade wobble either. When you see it out, it's fairly secure. No half stop, it's a cam tang. But this is a great example. So, and this is designed to be used, whether it's opening feed stacks with the clip point, or using the spey blade for skinning a rabbit, or even in a modern day thing to open a box without damaging the contents. So how did this go from farm tool to icon? Well, Case produced lots of limited editions. There's the Case Collectors Club, and this is still one of their best selling patterns. And the yellow dowel ring is still a popular version. So these are passed down from grandfather to father to son. And unlike some modern aggressive looking knives, the trapper is elegant and unassuming, always ready to do some work. Like most iconic designs, this doesn't need to shout to get attention. It does its job well, and it's an indispensable piece of Americana. What about you? Do you have one in this pattern? If you do, please share your stories in the comments. I really love hearing about them. It's one of the favourite parts about having a channel. I get some fantastic stories from people, and I do my best to answer all of the comments that I can. Sometimes if a video does well, it takes me a while and I don't get to all of the threads, but certainly if you're in the first few comments, I'm pretty sure that I'm going to read them. I hope you enjoyed this video. Why not check out this video here or this playlist on traditional knives, and I'll see you in the next video.